the 2021 Open Team Sailing Championships here in the winterless north, although today not so winterless at the moment. We've got breezy, blustery conditions out on the water, which is going to be a tantalising proposition for when the teams get out there. Always an exciting part of the sporting calendar when teams come together from all around New Zealand to try and take out that national title. But before today's action, we've had plenty of excitement over the weekend. Let's check out some of the action.
The 2021 GJ Gardner Open Teams Racing Nationals was hosted by the Kerry Cruising Club, and this year attracted 10 teams from throughout New Zealand. Teams racing is very different to fleet racing, which is the most common type, and sees 3 boats from one team taking on another 3 boats.
So teams racing is much shorter compared to normal fleet racing. It races about 7 minutes, 3v3 and pretty action-packed. And you never know what's going to happen. You know, we've lost some races right off the start, we've lost a race right on the finish. So you've got all this room to set up mark traps, work together as best as you can as a team to get the best result you can. So obviously going for the first, second and third is the best combo you can get, but any combo under 10 points is pretty solid. So you're just trying to work together to get the numbers as low as you can and be ahead of the other team.
It means communication is critical as teams work together for the best possible combination of points. It's something Bex Costello had to learn pretty quickly, especially as it was her first teams racing regatta after extensive experience in match racing.
It's definitely a lot more enjoyable. It's a bit more social. You know, match racing, you don't really talk to the other guys after the race, whereas these guys, you know, you'll hang around and like, oh, that was awesome. Oh, actually, I just made heaps of noise just to screw you guys up. You know, we had no infringements whatsoever, but we were second guessing ourselves. And, you know, it's those little cheeky mind tricks that are really fun. But yeah, it's just, you know, you hear from across the beat like, go left, or I'll go deep, or whatever, and it's just really cool. We did have a few moments we thought we were fleet racing. We were like, oh, we got to tack in front of these guys. We were like, oh, shit, they're part of our team, so we better not do that. But yeah, it's just turning your mind into actually teams.
Costello was part of a powerful team which included ocean racers, match racing champions, and someone with a distinguished Olympic background.
I've been sailing for a long time, to various degrees of success and not so much, but teams racing wise, haven't been teams racing since high school, similar to most of our teams, so a little bit rusty, but we're getting back out there and it's been good fun. I've known most of these guys since my high school days. Now got 10 kids between us, so just getting back out there and enjoying it, and yeah, thankful that we've got good partners that can take care of the kids.
Polly Parry won Olympic gold and silver with Joe Alley in the women's 470 before retiring after the 2016 Rio Olympics.
The Kiwis are flying, coming in towards the finish. It'll be gold for New Zealand.
The pair were also 470 world champions and in 2013 Female World Sailors of the Year. Ali is still involved at the highest level of the sport as the coach of New Zealand's top NACRA 17 sailors. But it's only recently that Parry has jumped back in a boat again, albeit at a much more social level. And she was part of the team that won last year's Women's Match Racing National Championships. It took a while for Parry's team to find their form, finishing the first round robin with 4 wins and 5 losses. But they eased into their work and picked up some big scalps along the 2 days of qualifying, including the team led by 3-time winner Ruben Corbett.
So some people haven't done it for a while. I think their team name's five chicks and 1 dude, but they've got there's some talent on that team, some gold medals there too, I believe, from the Olympics. So yeah, they know what they're doing. A lot of them have done team race worlds before, and so their first race of the whole regatta, they was real rusty with it. Oh, it's going to be a long regatta, but they've been getting better and better, and they beat us in a race, so probably end up racing them tomorrow at some stage, so that'll be fun.
There was plenty of action in the first 2 days of qualifying, especially as the breeze increased in intensity throughout the second day. The main aim was to get through qualifying and into the top 8 in the best position possible, which would mean a more favourable draw. Some, though, had different motivations.
Yeah, so we've got our old coach, Jamie Catchpole here, and we're all pretty keen to beat him. Yeah, so shout out to Jamie for coaching us here, but now we're going to try and beat him.
Well, we just want to make sure that make sure I haven't coached them to be better than we are, that's all. That's the main thing.
And for others, the racing was almost secondary, although that was sometimes news to their teammates.
Yeah, I mean, really, we just came here to, well, I speak for myself, but came here just to have a good time, catch up with some old teammates, basically, just give it a go, but I had no intention of winning at all. So that was really why I came.
We've got some conflicts of interest in this team.
Regardless of the aim, the Shack Tech racing team didn't hold back during the racing, taking it to their opposition. But it didn't always end well for them.
Oh yeah, there was a bit of an incident. I'm actually not used to these boats. They're a bit different down south, and it decided it would just go willy wonky on me, and ended up in the drink a wee bit. But yeah, we got a bit wet there, but no, we're still doing all right.
Good, we're going to get drive. Up on the side, mate. Oh, soon you get that jump on, the faster we accelerate out of the checks.
They weren't the only team to struggle to keep upright at times, and on this occasion one of the boats with the boobs to the back team ended in the drink, which severely hampered their chances.
We're in race number 11. Coming into the bottom mark, it is looking convincing for the favourites in blue. Shack Tech Racing in red have a lot of work to do. Not long to go in this race. An absolutely clinical performance from the favourites. And look at that, just a disturbance job going in the back. The favourites know that they've got that winning combination with the two boats in first and second, so their third boat can just be a menace at the back of the course, and that is exactly what they're doing right now. The favourites are earning their name because they are putting on an absolute show out there.
The favourites controlled the race throughout and guaranteed the win with their first two boats crossing in first and second.
Really strong performance here from the favourites as we're coming into the finish line. Great form shown from this team early on in the regatta. They've got a point to prove. They've never won this competition, always been near the top. And this is the start that they wanted coming into the finish line. First boat crosses the line, second boat crosses the line, and that will be enough to take the overall win. Remembering it's a combined point score that will earn you the overall race win. And just to rub salt in the wounds, it will be a 1-2-3 finish. Coming into the top mark now, Thievery in yellow, not very fast in green. Currently in a strong position is Thievery. As we see yellow number 2 go round the top mark in first place. Coming into the top here. Oh, there's a protest from not very fast. What do the umpires say? Looks like it'll be a green flag, so no penalty. That means Thievery will go 1-2.
Bad call, Heidi.
Bit of yelling and screaming. I do not think they were happy with that call from the umpires, but they need to live with it and try and chase down Thievery, who have a big lead in the front at the moment.
Thievery looked comfortable rounding the second mark with their top two boats in first and second, but things got a little tighter on the final upwind.
In just a minute, out of nowhere, not very fast, has picked a couple of great wind shifts, and they are right back in this race. Thievery still holding on to that first position, but back in the course, not very fast, have come through, up into second. They need to tack on top of them here and try and close them out. Oh no! They needed to try and tack on them, but they haven't, so Thievery will come through and they will take it with a 1-2.
That 1-2 finish handed Thievery the win and left them in a handy position as competition in the second round robin heated up.
Race 17. It is the youngsters, Waimea in red. Coming into the top mark. What a mark trap from Boobs to the back. They just shut the door on the red team, Waimea. And look at that. The two blue boats just sneak through. That is an excellent mark trap there from the blue team, Boobs to the back. I tell you what, in terms of mark traps, they do not get much better than that. Coming into the bottom mark, Waimea has their work cut out for them. While they're leading overall, you can see red number 12 there. Boobs to the back is still in a comfortable position. Look at this mark trap that they're setting up for. Look at blue number 7 there. Just doing a great job of slowing down the red boat on the left-hand side, trying to let his teammate through, and he does so. What a move there from Boobs to the back. Just held the door open for their teammate to come on through, and now look at that. It is a very strong position for Boobs to the back and a 2-3-4 for a total of 9 points, which we know is a winning combination. But I tell you what, this race has just been tit for tat. I wouldn't count out Waimea yet. Really great mark rounding at the bottom. Red number 10, that's the Waimea team, is closing in here on the blue team, Boobs to the back. This thing is certainly not over. Look at that margin just closing as Waimea tack away. When they come back together, this thing is going to get interesting.
Waimea had some work to do midway through the race, but went hunting their opposition to set up an exciting finish.
This race has almost had it all. Surely we're in for some carnage on the finish line. As we see Boobs to the back just tacking away there. Great job from Waimea to claw their way back into this race. I tell you what, you need to have your calculator out and try to add up these scores to see who's in a winning combination, because from the commentary booth, I can't work it out myself right now. This thing is literally coming down to the last couple of meters. Look at this, a massive cross coming up. Waimea from nowhere have come up into first and second. They look like they're going to go across the bow of Boobs to the back. Will they get across? Yes, they will, but no, they've tacked. Why did they tack? They got to keep clear. Oh, there's a collision. There is a collision. Waimea has hit into Boobs to the back. There's a protest going on. The umpire flag goes up and there'll be a penalty against Waimea. They did so well to come back, but Boobs to the back will get the win.
The performance of the Waimea College team came as little surprise to many of those competing. Teams racing is immensely popular at high school level, and at last year's Nationals, a team made up of high school sailors pushed Kiwis teams racing all the way, narrowly missing out on the 2020 title when they lost 2-1 in the final. Waimea College also came in with some form, having finished third at this year's secondary schools teams racing national championships at the Sandspit Yacht Club. That event featured 28 teams from Wanaka in the south to Whangarei in the north and saw 603 races contested over the 5 days of competition. Rangitoto College came out on top, losing only 3 of the 40 races they sailed, and Epsom Girls Grammar won the girls' national title. The secondary schools teams racing nationals is one of the rare chances youngsters get to sail for their schools, with most racing done for their club. but the Waimea College team certainly came with plenty of experience.
So we've been sailing our piers for at least 3 or 4 years. So our piers work really well together. It's quite good because we don't have any drama between our boats, so everyone gets on really well and works really well as a team.
YTP in red up against the crossbred Kiwis as we're coming into the start. Oh, it looks like they're going to be close down the far end of the line as we go to the start. And you see the blue flag goes up on the start boat. That means blue were over the line early, just a bit too eager, pushing it too hard. So you'll see on the far end of the line, the blue boat goes back, but the flag's still up. Oh no, 2 boats are over. Or was there some confusion? Whatever it was, this is a disastrous start for the crossbred Kiwis, the defending champions. Have had a shocker on the start, so they've got some work to do. But YTP, what a performance from them on the start line against the defending champions. Just no care in the world for how much experience this team has. They have just shown them that they've got what it takes as well as they come out to this lay line, leading the way. Look for Ruben Corbett to tack away. Yes, there he goes, but YTP follows right on top of them. Now let's see if they can slow them down and look for their team to catch up. Just flapping the jib at the front of the boat. So leading the way is YTP in first place, but back on the course. It is all to play for. You can just hear that wind really picking up this afternoon out in the Kitty Kitty Inlet.
Crossbred Kiwis drew on their considerable experience to close the game up as they searched for the winning combination.
YTP crossed the line in first place. Now if they can hang on to third, that will be enough to get the win, but this thing is close. There it is, YTP in first. They just need a third. Oh, but big port starboard coming up. YTP have to tack away. Oh no, they're going to get blocked out. What a manoeuvre from Blue 8. They have just come from nowhere, shut the door on YTP and come through for a 2-3-4 finish, which is a winning combination, and that is heartbreak for YTP after leading. But what a clinic from crossbred Kiwis.
That win over YTP helped the crossbred Kiwis to finish the round-robin phases on top with 17 wins and just 1 defeat. They were closely followed by favourites with 15 wins and the Waimea College team third with 13 wins, leading into the final day of racing.
As it stands right now, that will put us into a quarter-final with knockouts, semi-final, peak final, and final. What we need to know from all of you is how you feel about going out today. Good!
Now, if you thought yesterday had some breeze on, we're absolutely in for a treat with today's racing. There's a gale force wind warning in the Bay of Islands today, but that doesn't matter. The teams are going out, they're getting ready to go. Let's go have a chat to them to see how they're feeling.
Yeah, we're just looking at the challenging conditions out there. It's getting up there.
Everyone's talking about that. You nervous? Excited?
Excited, yeah.
And how about you? Feeling you're all kitted up, got the wet weather gear on, ready to get out there and blast around?
Yeah. I mean, it's pumping through a bit more than it was when we made the call, but it's not going to be teams racing, it'll be survival.
Do you think there's a chance you're going to go on the drink today?
Hopefully not. I don't know, maybe.
There's some real nerves out there before today, you know. Everyone's a little bit shaky on how, oh, look at that breeze coming through there. You'll be right. You'll be right. Get out there. You'll be right.
Even Reuben Corbett, who's competed on the world stage in both teams racing and match racing, was a little sceptical.
Reuben, we've just got the weather warning out there. Gale force winds, mate. You're crazy.
I think it's the race committee's crazy, eh?
You excited?
We just have to do as we're told. Yeah, no, we'll go out there and give it a crack, eh?
What's it like teams racing in these kind of conditions? Obviously a bit of a different game, probably not quite as tactical, but more need for speed.
Oh, yeah, still boat handling's always key in teams racing, eh? So it'll be the same thing again today. Just got to do the basics well, eh? Changes the mark traps a little bit, but yeah, no, should be right, eh? Look forward to it.
Excited?
Yeah.
The competitors continued to get the boats ready for the quarterfinals as the wind picked up in intensity, and it meant a change of plans.
It's the news that we didn't want to hear. We've just seen the start boat make its way back in. Truby, race officer for the weekend. You've just been out there checking out the conditions. Pretty gnarly.
Yeah, pretty gnarly out there, and we had to give it a go. And no, 37 knots, maybe not. But the great thing was the sailors all wanted to go out, and that shows the true Kiwi sailing, heavy air sailing spirit, and that was good, so we did our best for them, but nah.
So what does that mean for racing? No final series today. How does that? How do we work out the scores?
Just through the round robins, 2 round robins fully completed, and that's teams racing, that's fine. Don't need to go to semis, finals, round robins are enough to get a result.
And with that in mind, who took out the win?
Crossbred Kiwis, I think they're called.
Yep. Yeah. And they're back to back. I think that's 4 in a row for them.
Yeah, I think there's a few changes in the makeup of the team, but yeah, same leader, Reuben Corbett, the dreaded teams racer, legend of all time.
There we go. Well, thanks for trying today, and we'll come back next year and hope for a bit less breeze.
Yeah, the winterless north would be nice next year.
And taking 3rd place on the podium, a new team this year, came up from Nelson, Waimea. Please come up.
And where'd your old coach come?
Our old coach was in 4th, 1 place behind us.
So you pipped him on the podium?
Yeah, we were really quite pleased with that. That was our goal from the start. We don't care if we're second to last as long as he's last.
And the favourites?
Yeah, look, you know, it's always going to be tough beating Reuben when he makes the rules, but hopefully next year he won't, and we'll actually have a shot at it.
And, of course, the #1 team, used to be the Kiwi racing team, is now a crossbred team with Reuben, Angus, and Dylan and their crews. Come up, guys.
Did you have a fun weekend out there?
Yeah, it was heaps of fun. The weather was a bit, but it was good.
What was the highlight?
Probably spoiling at the back, slowing everyone else down. It's pretty insane.
Despite the weather, I can tell you one thing for sure. The spirits certainly haven't been dampened up here in Kiri Kiri today. People were still psyched, still excited and hopeful to get out onto the water, but it just wasn't the case. The wind picking up close to 50 knots out there and just too much to get racing in. But we had 2 awesome days of racing, plenty of action, such a great event on the Yachting New Zealand calendar every year, and hopefully we'll be back here next year in the winterless north with a few more sunny skies. We'll see you next time.